I always thought it was up to me to make a difference. Means nothing to sheep. Fooled by the love of the government's hugs. I'm kissed by the one, she's the sun from above. Ain't it funny in a room full of test ya? Making money for the moon, I betcha. Ain't it funny I'm your groom and I get ya? I'd see best when I see she's wet now. If I had the chance I'd swim oceans and sing. Slap a smile from your face, you got nothing to bring. Two hands, great flick, thanks Heath Ledger. Elixir on elixir. I will, I won't ever be that man, ever be that man again. I will, I won't ever be that man, ever be that man again. Now I know that it's up to me to make a difference. Mine's like a sheep, not fooled by the government's hugs. Need a fast life, love like doves. Not fooled by the government's direction. Can't blame, don't give me erection. Might sound mean, but I think I see ya. And stranger, no danger.
Moment for a second, then I lose my concentration. If rumors were religion, then I'd be the confirmation. I intend to get my sights set on using information to connect the chosen people to this soulful inspiration. There are no limitations when you're living from the heart, shining light into the darkness with the art as we embark on an instrumental mission, stepping on a peaceful path, knowing where we come from, letting you know who we are.
I will, I won't ever be that man, ever be that man again. I will, I won't ever be that man, ever be that man again.
Oh, let me get the background.
Oui, oui.
Oh my gosh.
So much fun you can have with these filters, man.
Have you found it yet? You can actually put makeup on. I just worked that people are out and they're like putting on like makeup like this. Can you see my lips?
Oh, that's beautiful.
You see, got a bit of purple. That's eyebrows.
Let's do that. Let's mix it up.
Are those? Ooh.
Wow.
Brown. Got some light eyebrows. Let's go dark.
That's insane. So
And
much fun.
I think what's the other one you could do? So mustache. Oh yeah.
Mate, you always look at your little sleazy mustache. Do that again. That was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you always wanted hair.
Do I look French? Do I look like a French?
This is how you do it, bro.
Yeah, man.
Oh wow, so much fun. Now I won't know how to get it off.
I know. There should be a nun button or a priest button, one of the two.
Wow. That's now I'm stuck with
you're stuck in the matrix, man.
There we go. Oh, wow, that's sort of cool.
Oui, oui.
Oui, oui. So anyway, how are you, bro?
Good. How you doing?
Good, mate. Can you take me seriously like this? Not that you ever could. Let's try to get this off. How you been, mate?
Working hard on the event at the moment, getting that all sorted. A bit of videoing and editing to get sorted. So we've got, so it's all very professional. We're being very grown up about all this. Not like you, who's going around in circles with a red pizza on his head.
I really need to get some maturity about me. There we go. Go, John. Yeah, mate. Oh, that's great stuff. Like, absolutely. I think you sold over 100 tickets in the first couple of days, didn't you?
Yeah, we're up to 350 now, and the hall we had a few issues, and that was capacity 350.
Yep.
And so we've got a capacity of 500. So there's so yeah, we've got another 150 to go now. So
wow, cool, man. What a great problem to have.
I know, right? But yeah, it's good. Everything's done. Everything's booked. Everything's ready. Kelly's been a superstar. She's been just doing most of it because she's in Melbourne. Yeah, guys, if you're in Melbourne, you want to come, tartariaaustralia.com, go there, get some tickets and come and meet me. I'm flying out on Wednesday.
Wow, man, that's it's so exciting.
It is.
I would have loved to have get down to join you all, but mate, it's part and parcel of having a bubba. So yeah.
Look, that's cool. But we're coming up your way. We're definitely going to Brisbane, and as far as regional areas, as long as we can get a couple of hundred people together, then we can do Sunshine Coast. We can do regional areas.
Man. Sunshine Coast would be a good one.
Yeah, areas where sort of there's lots of centres within a few hours. That way we can sort of.
Well, you've got the airport there too, just on the sunny coast.
Yeah.
So mate, that's if anyone did wanted to come up, or it's only obviously an hour from Sydney or whatever on the plane. So again, yeah, that'll be so cool. Man, I can't even take myself seriously.
Okay, so go to where
oh, far out. I'm trying to just have a normal conversation here.
You scroll up to the very top, in the top left-hand corner, it'll say none. Just click on that.
Top left-hand corner. Oh, good man. Yep. Okay.
There you go.
Legend.
All right, Gary's back.
All right. Now, sounds great. Let's talk some talk, man. It's been a while.
A couple of weeks, yeah.
Let's just go with the grass. Yeah, man. I watched your chat last night with Kelly. That was good. It sort of. I actually watched that doco when it originally came out years ago, and saw that. When he goes down to the bottom.
Yeah.
Get through it. He's going, mate, we can't. And I'm like, wow, what the hell's going on? But mate, as above, so below.
It seems that way. I mean, one thing that because we do these kind of talk from the fly. Kelly pretty much, calls up, and goes, "Oh, I've got an idea," and then we hit record, and she tells me, and then we just sort of, expand it. But a good one was, angels, right? Angels that come down from above. Are they divers? There's that song by Dio, right? Holy Diver. I started thinking about that, thinking, is that actually what, because we see all these pictures of, Phoenicians and, with the sort of Sumerian stuff with the wings, and they're always holding bags, and they've always got weird apparatus and stuff on, and we just don't know, So yeah, water's above, water's below. It's definitely not a vacuum up there, is it? So
that's it, man. And look at the stars when you actually look through them through something like a P900. They certainly don't look like the images that NASA gives to us.
No, they look exactly like the cymatic shapes you get when you play water through music through water. They look exactly like that. So it's exactly right. Is that what it is? I mean, I get the question is, I guess, is where is the projection coming from? Or are they actually something up in the sky that we're seeing? Are they a reflection? These are the questions we don't know, right? Because maybe nobody knows, right? Because they're trying to, as far as we know, they're still trying to get through the dome, right? But that's kind of what we're posing is, have they actually got through the dome, but through the bottom?
It'd be very similar materials, wouldn't it? You'd think, like, I don't think we'll ever get anywhere, mate, personally, but and if I think our best luck, call me crazy, but the Antarctic Treaty's there for a reason, to get down in submarines and try to, get yourself, not only is it dangerous, I don't know how much expensive and all that sort of stuff, like doing that sort of, to actually do what that guy in that video did would have cost an absolute, fortune to organise and implement all that. Yeah. But mate, like, the Antarctic Treaty, it's the longest held treaty known to man. There's a reason it's there, and mate, there's more land, 150%.
I mean, there is. I mean, you just think about it. Like, I mean, that dude in that video, if you don't know what we're talking about, there's a he was a videographer, the oceanographer for Titanic, James Cameron, when James Cameron did Titanic. And so he was in this little submersible submarine and he found this lake under the ocean. If you sort of Google lake under the ocean, you'll find it. But the thing is, he was in this little submersible and he was, he was like, oh, we're down so low. And I mean, there's no way we can believe that that's the epitome of the tech. If he's doing that, imagine what tech they've really got, how deep they can really go. And the other thing is, why is there no recreational submersibles? I mean, we do hear of them, but when they come out, they're like $500,000. But when you look into it, there's not really any validity to that. They sort of say, oh, well, it's underwater, it's all so dangerous and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But I mean, dudes were deep sea diving with just a copper helmet on their head, 100 years ago. So yeah, basically they don't want us under there. They don't want us down there.
That's it. 100%, bro. Like it wouldn't take too long to find the architecture, mate. You just go off the coast here where we are, off any of the coast of Australia, before you know it, mate. I watched Michelle
Gibson
vid the other day. Wow, bro. Sydney Heads. Did you come across that she did?
No, I don't think I've seen that one.
Wow, man. So there's this stretch of coastline from Bondi around to the entrance at the harbour.
Yeah.
So, and part of it's called Sydney Heads. And I always thought the heads from one point to the other, right? Mate, they far out. This is insane, man. And even Google's covering it up now because I've looked. Along these cliff lines of from this stretch, Sydney Head, there's these massive heads along the cliffs. We found them, mate. And there's one that's so detailed. I'll send you it. It's awesome, mate, because just as we, you think what possibly new stuff can we find after our cake spun me on my head, it's always good to find this, and because I think that my take on it is that all the mountains around here, like especially up this area and like Blue Mountains and things like that, these are old massive buildings, man, that have just been schmelted, whatever, and like around my area, I just did a little video on it on syncretism, and mate, it was I was actually just trying to get Zoom to work and see if I could do it with the maps, and the baby was in bed and I was really quiet. So if you do see the vid, it's really boring me, but I was just trying to be real quiet. But mate, around all the Glasshouse Mountains, Karoi, Pomona, all these massive old, they look like pyramids, or they call them mountains, but these things are and mate, I just think this whole place was, a lot of it was used up. When they talk about, they say there's no land available now, like we're overpopulating. What a crock of Scheisenhausen, mate. But then I would think we'd be very surprised how much of this place was utilized, man.
Yeah. I mean, all deserts are man-made, and that's Australia, right? So, and the other thing is, in all the deserts, they're all full of holes. It looks like they've been bombed, like carpet bombing. So they're obviously bombing a civilization. You don't go out and just bomb barren land, do you? So yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Most of Australia's civilization, ancient civilization, was probably in the middle, and now it's all on the outside, right?
Isn't
that could be about time too, but yeah, I mean,
don't go in the middle though. Don't go in the middle. There's nothing there, Cam.
It's too hot. There's no water.
It's dangerous.
Burke and Wills.
With Burke and Wills, man.
It's cooking well.
Yeah, we just spun all this shit as kids, hey?
you know, with Australia, you know, for any people overseas, you know, we have all these tales of explorers, you know, the most famous being Burke and Mills, and they all go out to the desert and they all die. So it's just a story. Don't go out there, you'll die. So
yeah,
and it's just so massive. Who knows what's out there? You know, I'm going to start scouring sort of Google Earth, but I mean, even that, you know, we might find a few bits left. But I mean, that I guess, you know, hopefully talking to the natives, I know where some stuff are out there, the originals, you know, we can start getting out there, because I think, and I'm seeing it all over the place now, is, you know, this whole sort of Tartaria topic, you know, old world, it's kind of morphing. Everyone's now boots on the ground and actually getting out to these places is becoming the main focus now, which is awesome. So I'm going to definitely start doing that. We'll be able to drive.
It's good, bro. I've even noticed, like, mate, that was because that's one thing I did originally. Like, I was out there in the rocks for my first vids. If you have a look in Truth Hurts, we were going up to the mountains, me and my sons, down on the beach, filming all this stuff. And they're like, even channels like Mind Unveiled, I see their latest channel, he's getting out in the, you know, and filming this stuff, you know. It's like watching my vids, mate. It's the same sort of stuff. We're all seeing the same thing.
And it happens all the time. And that one of yours on the beach that you did, that was awesome. When you were just picking up bits and pieces, going, what the hell?
Man.
It's and I think I've seen a few other channels do that. And there's also like a, you know, genre of these people who are like, I don't know what they call themselves, like they just go into rivers and things and collect all this stuff, like in the Thames, and they just find stuff that's like 200-300 years old, you know, just, you know, just sort of comes up when the waters are down and stuff. And other people do magnet fishing. So there must be so much stuff under the water, you know. I think about, you know, the Swan River in Perth, because it's got man-made edges.
Yeah,
like our river is a canal. So, you know,
and
if you think
sorry,
canal has been there for probably 1,000 years, imagine what's at the bottom.
Yeah, bro. And these canal systems, mate. I was just walking through me and my missus went for a walk earlier, just through Karoi, you know, like our local town. And mate, we go through the park, and then, mate, there's this canal system running through, and I'm like, babe, do you see that? Like, do you think that's natural? How old do you think that is? And she's like, my missus is really good. She questions everything now. And she's like, yeah, I can imagine what it was like before. You know, you can just see it's been left abandoned. You know, I'm like, babe, exactly. These rivers were used for traveling and moving goods. And you know, you get on the river, you go up, downstream, whatever, you get the train back. You know, these train lines were all in place.
I was thinking the exact same thought, because I'm trying, because clearly they had their modes of transport. They had their trams, trains, their boats, you know, the airships.
Yeah.
And the thing about having canals everywhere, and just as a side note, all their canals are still perfect. You know, we try and build bloody canal estates and they get full of green algae and stuff within like 2 years because the water's not moving. It's just crap. But if there's anyone can build a boat, right? And literally anyone can go and chop down a tree and have a saw and an axe, and you could build a raft or something, and then you can travel for free, right? So and then if trains and you know, trams and that all used to be free, like, so trains probably did too. So yeah, jump in your boat, travel down, do your stuff,
that's it,
you know, train back or whatever, or, you know.
And it's not like you're looking at your watch like, fuck, it's 2 o'clock, I've got to go to work, or got to go to work in the morning. Like, you just, you know, it's like enjoying being, you know. I love
with no money. This is the thing, it's the money factor that's what creates time, creates stress, everything.
Yeah,
you know, because time is money, right? Time is money. It's got to be here by, we've got to do it by this time. Deadlines, right?
Oh, alarm bells. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, deadlines, right? Where you have to write spelling, and turn them into a sentence. Join the other prisoners.
It's just, they're capturing us in every way they can.
It's just, and it's unbelievable how fast it's all coming out, you know. But it's like you said, with, you know, people getting out there and looking at stuff, it's happening like in waves. You know, people are like getting onto a thing, and you see it everywhere. You know, someone will talk about something, and it's everyone's talking about it at the same time. So, you know, to me, that's just proof of the Great Awakening, right? The vibration, the energy rising up, the frequency, and
Yep. Well, mate, knowledge and truth is everything. Like this is what gets me with people like that just go, "What's it matter?" or this and that. Like even love. If you're in a relationship and it's not based on truth, if you don't, like that's what I was saying to my missus. Like if the truth doesn't come first, you're fucked. You know, it's got to, and then the love that follows is it's true love. It's you can't fall in love with someone and then if they don't get the truth, it's not going to fucking work.
no, because you're not falling in love. It's their persona, and as soon as you can't tell the truth to someone, that just creates a, you know, a thing, right? It's just a
Exactly.
thing.
Oh.
You know, and 20 years down the track, you're living with someone that you don't know. And it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
it's just all these little movements.
Yeah,
which
man.
is exactly what, you know, the system does to us. The other, you know, just little incremental movements, you know, 20 years down the track, you're like, oh shit, they got me. Just worked my life for 20 years. What did I do?
Yeah, and that's it. It's not a dress rehearsal.
No, what's
mate?
No one told you when to run. You missed
Few
the
things
start.
while I've got you, because I always love to pick your brain, so to speak, my man. So look, we've done the chat with our cakes. It was a great hit. You know, I watched that live. I'm absolutely pumped. He's a good, like, mate, you can't doubt his work. Like, wow, what a knowledgeable guy he is, and like tremendous stuff that he brings to the table. You know, great, you know, some serious questions to question, like more questions to ask. So you've had the chat with our cakes, mate. You know, we didn't really see your view. It was a nice question time with him and so forth. But I'm asking you today, my man, creator or simulation? What do you think? Or you might say that they're the same thing, but
yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I only came across sort of simulation theory, you know, as far as a thing, I guess, only a couple of years ago. You know, I'd always kind of, you know, known, you know, the hologram and life is, I mean, the way I used to look at it is life is the dream, right? And then we wake up, and then that's the real life, which really is kind of the same as simulation theory when you think of it, right? We've come into a place that's not real, and then when we leave, we wake up. So I think I definitely believe in as far as God, as far as the creator, that's not a being to me. That's an energy, a force, a frequency. It's us. We're all made from it. It's the whole, and you know, we fragment from it so that we can get perspective and learn, and then we, you know, go back and join it, or what, you know. But that's different to a God, you know, and religion and all this kind of stuff. That's just, I mean, I just call it nature, right? Or life, or whatever you call it. That's God to me. It's the energy that binds and animates all life. So we have that. But then as far as the earth, you know, where we are, is there a creator, you know, creator God, whatever you want to call it? I think so. Or creators. So I think this is a created place that we're in. I think we were in on the creation, or at least we know what it was, and I think we chose to come in here. I do. And I've been thinking a lot, you know, about what Jason says about, you know, he looks at it as we're in here as an experiment, right? To learn something, to do something, so that it can't affect the real, you know, natural world or whatever. And it makes a lot of sense, you know, with all this, you know, and even though it's bad, but all this sort of, you know, transhumanism stuff that's going on, and genetic engineering and that. I mean, you wouldn't want to do that in real life, would you? That's what we're saying now. So maybe this is a simulation to see what will happen. But yeah, I think it's a simulation that we're in, that we chose to come in. I think it was created by whoever, and if you want to call that God, you can. But to me, God is a bigger thing, an energy, you know, wisdom, whatever you want to call it. And at some point, yeah, the simulation got hijacked. I definitely believe that, and that's what it. You know, you can go to so many, you know, the Gnostics, you know, all these different people talk about that, the Archon, the Demiurge, and that's. I think we've either come in at a later date, you know, people that are awake to try and help get this thing done, or we've been woken up, or, you know, something's been done to us so we can see what's happening. But yeah, I mean, something's big's happening, and we're at the end of the, I think we're getting close to the end of the line, end of the simulation. But not necessarily because it was meant to be like that. I think that it's been, you know, which is Jason as well talks about the pyramid being a program that was inserted to basically shut the program down because something went wrong.
Wow.
And if you look at fractal time, then they may have put that in, and it might be a second in, you know, real time, wherever that is, but years to us down here, right? So yeah, that answer that I'm kind of both, a bit of each, but I definitely don't believe that this is our final form, right? The humans living down in a physical world. That's not who we really are.
No, it's so interesting, and it's because, mate, like I've said to you before, when you play a video game, you know, you're looking. I don't play them, you know, my boys do. But just to make it clear,
civilization.
but yeah, you know, they're playing their shooting games or whatever. You can see their hands in front like this. You're looking out, you know, you got your gun or whatever. You can throw punches. You can see the hand, you know, come up, all that sort of stuff. So, mate, so we're walking around in these bodies, and it's literally like a computer game. You see your hands in front. You don't see your face. You know, you throw a punch and you see your hand. It's exactly like my boys up on their games. You know, it's a real. So you're walking around living your life, and then you go and play the game, and it's the same thing. So it's a real, you know,
it is. And it's very, you know, 3D structured like a game, isn't it? And there's all this background stuff that's in there that, you know, try as we may, we could never really prove if it's real or not. You know, there's no way we can go and talk to every person and find out their background and are they a real person, or are they someone just there and then they disappear as we turn the corner, you know?
Oh, isn't that great?
Fill in the space, you know, we don't know. Now, there could only be, you know, 144,000 or who knows what of us down here, and the rest is, you know, filling out the space, which is another thing. You know, this simulation, if it's been broken down, people may have already been leaving. We might just be the last ones, right? But they fill it with NPCs so that we don't, you know, freak out and think the world's, you know, ending or something. I mean, it's just so many questions, but I mean, we're making massive leaps, I think, but it's the whole point that we just don't get access to so much information that, you know, if we got the right minds on, you know, in the technology they have, we could have this sorted out in a year, man. Like, seriously, it's frustrating, but we're getting there. Like, they're losing but they can't do anything now. Literally, we're at the point now where when they come out and say something, it's instant that people are like, no, that's wrong, here's the proof.
Yeah.
So,
you've just got to look. Yeah, sorry.
I was going to say the next step is the proof comes out, and then they go out and with a different story after it, you know, and so they look completely ridiculous, and everyone finally goes, oh, what? Okay.
Yeah. Well, what Jason from Archaics was saying, mate, from the get-go, it was like October, November. He's like, it's all going to come out. They're going to have their 4 guys, you know, and all these so-called experts and so forth. They'll send them off to different parts of the realm where we're hiding out in Greenland or wherever they go to, you know. But yeah, they've got their 4 guys in place, and I just thought that was really interesting. And then basically they'll probably just try to get life going on as usual for a bit, but trying to just implement more and more control.
they're definitely doing that. They know they pushed a bit too far, and they're like, let's try and convince the masses that it can go back to normal, and that'll be their hope, that it'll all return to normal. But while they're doing that, they just do their, what does Ike call it? The totalitarian tiptoe, their little incremental steps of slavism.
Did you say Ike, David Ike, Ben?
Yeah.
Yeah, funny you said that, man. I was watching, I want to look, actually, one of my points I wrote, bad writing here, but no, you can't see it in that bloody thing, that David Icke. Yeah, so it's funny you mentioned him. So, what do you think about, because, mate, isn't he a character? Because he came out in like the 80s or whatever, and they completely ridiculed. He was really popular on television. And then,
he was a soccer commentator on the BBC. So he was a public figure, he was well known. He had he was well paid. He had, he's in one of those positions that he was pretty much set for life. He could have been still commentating soccer and being paid lots and lots of money. And then he turned up on his show in a blue and pink tracksuit, no less.
He looked a bit crazy. So funny.
But yeah, I mean, I interviewed David. I've spoken to him.
Have you?
And he was really, really cool. We, when we'll talk, because his daughter sort of does the booking, and she was like, oh, blah, 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 this is the time, it's for an hour, blah, blah, and we sort of said, oh, is it all right if we have a bit of a joke with him and that? And she's like, oh no, we just need to get this done. You've got an hour. He's very serious. And we're like, oh, okay. And then he came on. He was like, oh, how you going? And we just had a laugh. And he gave us about an hour and 40 minutes. And so it was really good.
Yeah, man.
He was great. His energy was good. I'm pretty good with energy, with reading people.
Yeah.
Especially dodgy. He's fine. I think he's, I mean, there's so many different perspectives, but the thing is, is anyone, this thing, right? Is anyone really good or bad, or is it just us, our perspective? Because, even if you think Ike's a plant, you can't deny he's giving out truth as well.
Absolutely. That's what I thought, mate. He is. But so he's giving heaps of truth, but then I think he mentions the globe a few times. So that's where I was like,
Yeah. I mean, and
like,
he may know, he might not know. I just saw a video where he came out because everyone was harassing him a few years ago, and he pretty much said, well, it's a hologram, so it probably is flat as far as we see it, but it's a hologram.
Yeah.
Pretty much what Jason says, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah. Mate, what do you think about the projection? Sorry.
I was just going to say, back to Ike and that, this whole thing of he's bad, oh, don't listen to him, oh, I need to make videos and tell everyone that he's... Guys, don't do that. All you're doing is feeding the beast, you're becoming the beast, and you're living in negative energy. Who cares? You take the good and you leave the rest. It's not up to, we're told don't judge, right? And you should judge, but if someone's coming at you with a knife, judge them as a bad person to get away from. But it doesn't mean we have to go out, and make people believe our point of view, because that's really what it comes down to. It's ego. I think he's wrong, so I'm going to go out and make everyone believe what I believe, because I'm right.
Yeah. So that's a really good point, mate. And no one's right. My whole thing is just, it's like I just try to I just wish people had a little bit of understanding, you know what I mean? Like, I just wish they had that, like, I find it really frustrating, and that's my thing, I don't know if it's like ego, like when it comes down to ego or like anything like that. For me, it's pure frustration, and I just wish I can, like, fucking... But there's no way getting through. And just quickly, mate, like, we've got about 7.5 minutes left.
That's right.
I wanted to ask, what was it? Del from Beyond the Imaginary Curve. Yeah, Del, you come across Del, Beyond the Imaginary Curve. Beyond the Imaginary Curve. Del, the Scottish guy, speaks with a real heavy accent, goes out on the street and does the, you know, Del, you'd know Del for sure.
I can't picture him. I remember him. I've probably seen him, but
He
I
was
can't
on the
remember.
start of that Flat Earth movie they put on
Like the
Netflix
latest
and
one.
that. No, you know, on Netflix, that fake, like
Oh, that one.
yeah, like they just used him without his
Oh, I get permission. Yeah.
consent. But anyway, mate, I just wanted to bring up the way that he does stuff. This is really genius. Like, I just think we can all take this, because as I said, I get really frustrated. So if there's any other geocentrists out there who are frustrated and you want to sort of have a chat to someone and maybe get them to think a little bit, he does it in a really good way, mate. And I'm just going to quickly sort of talk about the way that he does it. So he'll sort of meet people and he'll go, you know, how are you, blah, blah, blah. You know, have you heard that there's people questioning the shape of the earth? And they're like, oh, yeah. Generally they laugh, whatever, you know. And he'll sort of go, you know, because he goes to universities and questions students and stuff. So he'll be like, you know, oh, you're a science guy, are you? And they're like, yes, trust the science. He's like, well, you know, man to man, he'll go, just give me some science. What can you just demonstrate what makes you think you're living on a spinning ball? Mate, no one can just, it rattles them, you know, they can't, because there's nothing, you know. So and then he's like, I'm a science guy, you know, and he's like, you know, observable, testable, repeatable science has got to be like that. Would you agree? And they're like, yeah. You know. And he's like, okay, well, and that's where he'll bring in water. So that he talks about water first and how it just takes the shape of its container and always forms a level surface. And then he'll say, so, you know, if you get a pool and then imagine it 50 meters long, okay, then 100 meters, then 1,000 meters, whatever, you know, and keep expanding it. When does it start to bend? You know, because when we test water, we know that it can't bend, you know. So there is the way that he does it, he sort of talks about physics and using physical demonstration, because otherwise it's like, it's nothing. Because that's the other thing. They'll say, oh, I've seen the images, you know, I've seen pictures from space of, you know, the ball. And he's like, well, so these are all great ways to deal with people, because they all come back with the same answer, mate. You know, so they'll say images, and then you just say, he'll go, well, I've got a unicorn at home. I've got a photo in my pocket. Would you believe that I've got a unicorn at home? And they're like, no. And he's like, well, do you see what I'm saying? Images can't be. So he demonstrates that, you know, we're through natural science, using observation, like testing and repeatable testing, you know, we can prove that the earth is, for one, stationary, you know. And we look at Airley's failure, that experiment where Airley tried to prove that we live on a spinning ball, and it's called Airley's failure for a reason.
Prove the opposite.
So yeah, I just thought it was really interesting, man. I just thought Del out there from Beyond the Imaginary Curve, he's amazing at what he does. You know,
you just can't bamboozle people, you know. Like a lot of people, you know, when they talk to others, you know, about these kind of topics, they kind of have the belief that these people have some reference points or some knowledge, and most of them have nothing. Like you just said, uni kids, you know, they don't know what. But so if you go, the earth is flat, it's a big topic with all these different things that you could talk about,
yeah,
and that's just too much for the average person to handle. That's especially right. When they've got no reference points. And so they'll just go, you're a stupid flat earther, and walk away. You can't get in.
Yeah.
But when you sort of, I mean, he was good because he built them up first. Oh, you're a smart guy. You're a science guy.
Science guy. Know. That's it. Yeah.
You're like, oh, of course. Yes. Of course. And then you ask a simple question.
Yeah.
You bring it back to basics so that they can get a picture in their head. Is this pool 50 meters yet? It's flat yet? 100 meters yet? And they're looking at 1,000 yet? When's the curve? And they're like, oh. They can think about that, you know, because that's one thing. They can't think about this, you know, everything you know is wrong and it's a flat plane and that changes everything. And you know, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But if you can get through, water's always flat. That's all you need to do. They'll go away, and that's a seed, and it'll start to grow, and they'll start asking questions, and then they'll I'll start looking at stuff. And this is the other thing is you can't change someone's, perspective instantly, right? You can't, it's not like you talk to someone and they go, oh yes, now I believe exactly like you do. You can get them to think because they've got to come to their own conclusions. So you just plant seeds, you can't go for the end result. You've just got the result should be just to get them to think, and that's it. Yes, I can see they thought, okay, I'm going to shut up about it now because I don't want to look like don't want them to think I'm a loony, and you change the subject and it's in there.
Yeah. And he does it in such a way that you start from above too. You can sort of go like second law of thermodynamics is gas pressure needs a barrier to form a vacuum. And when we perform these tests here on Earth, we see that gases mix. So when they talk about, a thermosphere and this sphere and that sphere, like these are gases. They like when we test it here on Earth, they mix. So when does it start to, like, do you know what I mean? So you can start there, and then you can start with water, and then you can go to look, we don't know, like as in, because they'll be like, we're floating disk through space. You're like, no, we don't know what the hell it is. There's the Antarctic Treaty in place for a reason. We don't know what that is above. We know all we know is it's level.
Yeah, it's pretty much, and it's not spinning.
And we're not spinning. That's it.
The stars is another one. That's what got me like really sort of starting to think about it was, the lack of parallax. If you can get someone to see that in their head, that we're moving and these stars, as you move, their perspective and their position relative to each other should change, which means the star signs should change. And if you can get that into someone's head, then it's like, oh, hang on.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
How does that work? Yeah.
And it's like next year at the same day, look up, you'll see the exact same star.
Yeah, man, lost you there. We were talking
parallax. Yeah, I was just saying, if you look up at the stars, they're the same as if you look up in a year's time. A year apart, they'll be exactly the same. But NASA tells us we've moved millions of miles across the universe.
Yeah, and stars don't change. And the sailors have been using them stars to navigate for thousands of years, bro.
Exactly. So how does that work?
That's that way. Mate, I love the one, I watch it night after night. I go out there and look at the moon, and peeps, get out there and look at the clouds. These are localized clouds. Watch how they come as they start to get closer to the moon. They'll light up, and then as they get away from the moon, they'll dissipate, and obviously they're not being lit up anymore because that's a local source lighting up local clouds. If that sun was 237,000 miles away, mate, I don't think it would even have any light. It wouldn't even affect the clouds at all. It's like the distance.
Sun rays coming from angles, it just that's impossible if the sun's 66 million miles away or something.
93 million. Yeah.
93, sorry.
That's all right. It's really good though, mate. You learn that stuff. I love tripping people out with that because no one knows that. Witsit gets it. He's really good.
Yeah, that's why Dave Weiss is so good. He just knows all the numbers. Yeah. And at the start of everyone, he's like, "Okay, you tell me how big's the Earth? I don't know. How fast is it? Don't know. How fast is it? Don't know."
And this is So, mate, like. We really have the ability, like I've said before, it's like going to an exam with you got the answers in your pencil case. Like when you're talking to these program people, they're all got the same answers.
All got the same books.
Same
TV shows.
Same TV programs.
And I mean, something interesting too is all these people, like Bill Nye and
the Lion Guy,
Neil deGrasse Tyson, and all these
smelly,
people,
stinky grass hole.
And pretty much anyone, even in politics. There's a website called imbd.com, and it lists every single person who's ever been in or is in the Screen Actors Guild.
Yep.
Which you have to join if you do anything that's commercial. Basically, you have to be a member. So you go in there, search for Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's in there. He's got, I think, 30 like TV and movie credits. Bill Nye's in there. all these people, they're just actors.
Yeah.
They're literally credited as actors.
How about Don Pettit?
Oh, who's Don Pettit?
You know that actor not who's like he speaks.
He's the dude. I'd love to go back to the moon, but
we've destroyed everything, but I'd love to go back. He doesn't sound that smart when he talks. He sounds mate, these guys are as dumb as dog shit.
But this is the thing. I mean, and these people who think they're smart listen to that and they go, they destroyed it. How do you destroy knowledge and information? Because I can tell you one thing, if they were going to go back to the moon, they wouldn't be building the stuff they wouldn't be trying to find the rocket ships from the 60s, right, and taking them back. Everything would be redesigned. Everything would be rebuilt. So all you need to know is the physics. They just need to know the knowledge, right, the science. It doesn't matter if
it doesn't make sense. Mate, the whole thing, that's what I mean. This whole thing like is a lie, right? Everything. And that's why, you know, guys like you and I and all the legends out there who are watching this and, you know, all the other video makers and so forth, like it's so clear, you know, and these program units, man, like, wow, like more so now I'm sort of leaning towards that simulation sort of vibe, mate, because people are so fucking dumb, you know.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. If it's a simulation and we're hooked in and our thoughts and beliefs and everything create what we get, what we experience, then that's why all these people that believe the news, that's why all they're doing is making their world more solid every time they watch the news, right? Or they listen to the same old crap. Because we're destroying that, our viewpoints expand. That's why we're always getting new information. And like, oh, really? That? Oh my God. It's always expanding because we're looking, and that's what we're getting. So we do get, and I suppose, I think that would happen, in reality with God, we are creators, but definitely down here in the physical world, that's how it works, right? So yeah, it's you got to open your mind, right? The mind's like a parachute. It doesn't work unless it's open.
That's cool, man. Yeah, and wow, and then I was thinking, man, wow, it's so interesting. So we know the government means, so when you break down the word government, so to govern is to control, ment is Latin for mentis, which is mind. So they're telling you the governors of the mind, they're the ones who are in control of everything. And mate, more than ever, I'm just like, wow, okay. Like it's literally like a mind. We're in a thing where it's all about mind control.
All the languages there, the arcs, the archon is rulers, and we have these arcs everywhere, and arch, they love to do that, right? Arc and arch, it's the same word. Archbishop.
Yep.
Archangel, they're all the same. Archetypes, architect, all this language. It's all, they send us to school, right? A school is a collection of people, so we're no longer individual, and they make us wear uniforms, right? So we're all the same.
Yeah.
Uniform.
Yeah.
It's all.
And so that's what David Icke was saying last night, mate, when I was watching, like we have these kids, and then 4 or 5, they're at a desk being told when they can go to the toilet, like what they're, when to eat, what is real, what's like from such a young age, man.
And we've seen what some of these teachers are. I mean, holy dooly.
Wow, the dumbest of the dumb teaching our kids, mate. That's who they are. All these school teachers.
And that's on purpose too.
Yeah.
That's on purpose. Back in the day, to be a teacher, I can't remember the dates, but or even where I was reading this, but it's not. It's a country up in Scandinavia, Finland maybe. You have to have 3 degrees to be a teacher.
Yeah, wow, okay.
Right, and that teacher stays with the students for 12 years. They start with them when they start school, and as the students progress, the teacher goes up with them. And so you've got these very highly educated people that know their children, they build relationships with them, and so they've got a stake in their future, literally, and it's a 12-year relationship, and it becomes it's much more about gnosis and building, good, intelligent, humans.
I like that, but they've still got to teach the right things, mate. Like
Yeah, well, they do.
Yeah.
But one big thing is, in our system, when you get when every year they get a new class of kids, right? So you can imagine what happens halfway through the year. They're like, oh, I can't get through this kid. Oh, he's dropping. They get busy. A few months go by, and then they're like, oh, fuck it. It's just that's next year's problem. I'll give it to the next teacher.
Yeah, fully.
Passed off. Where you have to teach those kids the next year. It's against you to create problems. You want to fix things as they pop up, right? So
really good point, man.
The curriculum is massive as well, but we need to teach kids how to think, not what to think.
Well, we're all born geniuses, mate. And then they just start smashing it.
Well, that's another thing is memory. People think they don't have a good memory. Every person has a 100% perfect memory, and it's provable because you can hypnotize people and they can tell you word for word exactly what went on at a certain time or place 20 years ago. The problem we have is recall. People aren't because they're not using their minds properly. They're filling it up with all this crap, and their mind is sitting there going, oh, the important things on Netflix and Twitter and what this person's posting. So they're not, so that's why they're not remembering the things they want to. So, nobody's stupid or dumb. This is all learned behavior.
Yeah. Big time, bro. Well, mate, I'm going to have to wrap it up, but I love doing this with you. So just leaving on a positive note, because we want the key, like Tom Barnett I watched a bit of Tom. He's awesome. And he was touching upon today after he had a surf, and he was with Dave Oneggs. He's a legend too. And just the importance of being in the now and enjoying every moment. And what that does is a collective, mate, like if we're all just being happy, that's what they don't want. And just happy in the moment every day, like just being
happy. And when you're happy, you're not focusing on the system and all the crap that they want you to focus on. So you're no longer giving them energy and building the reality they want. That's why they love people complaining. They love all this fighting on social media because it's just the same. You're still focusing on what they want, whether you're saying I love it or I hate it. You're still bringing it into being. So when you're just happy and you're surfing or you're walking through the bush or you're just chatting with people, you're not thinking about that stuff. So you're not empowering it. You're empowering your own life and your own path. And when that happens, then we have a world made of individuals who are all creative, and it's much, much better. Things start to flow again.
Cool, man. And I guess, simulation, whether, God, creator, how do people find solace and I guess not overthinking too much, mate? What's your advice there with just sort of letting things be? And because I think, will we ever know? We're not going to ever know everything. We can keep questioning it. It's fun, but what's your advice to help people just, as I said, find a bit of solace and happiness?
Yeah. I think definitely have fun with it. Don't take life too seriously. It's just life. No one gets out alive. So that's the first thing. Don't take it too seriously. It's just an experience. And understand that you have ultimate choice. And even the choice to say I have no choice, that's a choice. So you get to choose what you focus on and to build that. And you can choose to believe that you focus on something for a day and it didn't work, so it's all crap. That's your choice. Or you can choose to be smart and go, well, I'm just going to keep going anywhere. But ultimately, we're here. We're in a physical world at the moment. We're here in a physical world with people around us. So just enjoy it. Just be it. Understand that everything that people are telling you is opinion, because everyone's just like you. No one knows the answer. These people running around saying they know the answer, they don't. They're just like you. They're trying to work it out. So believe that's the main thing, is believe that there's no one smarter than you. No one knows more than you. There's no one with your answer apart from you. So just walk, understand that you are, right? I am. you know, what's going on? Well, I am here. I am doing this. I'm talking, whatever, and just be in the moment and enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, all this, you know, obviously we want to know that the truth, and we're searching, and that's part of the journey, but that should be fun. It shouldn't be something to be stressed about. And I think that's the biggest thing, is just keep it fun.
Yeah.
Don't take life too seriously. Just don't take it too seriously. That's probably the biggest thing I could say.
No, that's cool, man. Let's get, we all know Earth is an anagram for theatre, so let's just enjoy the theatre.
Exactly.
All right, bro. Well, mate, always good to chat. And yeah, I'm going out for dinner tonight with the misso and some of the kids. So we're leaving now. So thank you, bro. Always a pleasure to have you, mate. And we'll speak again soon, brother.
We will do. All right. Cheers, mate. Have a good one.
Yeah, man. Take care, brother.
Hey, mate.
Yeah, bro.